Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Also brought to you by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis at Macias Insurance and Michael Crider from Farmers Insurance. Of course, Halpin Music, as Lydia always tells us as we start the show, and Dad's here, Lydia's dad.
Dad's here.
Also known as Pig Pile.
Pig Pile.
I mean, Pen. Pig Pen. Also with us, Marshall Gracias from Stone Sugar Shakedown and the Happy Trails Music Festival, which is what we're talking about this evening here on the Big Z.
Here on Riverbend Talent at the Big Z. Hey, you know what? Before we jump in with Mr. Marshall, we got a lot to talk to him about. Let's run through this Thursday because it's 6 p.m. and things are already firing up that people might want to head down to do.
Well, I got an announcement to make first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a good one.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, I'm going to send out condolences to Jake Weber. He lost his brother on July 6th to a house fire.
Oh, no.
Yeah, John Paul Weber, and our condolences to our buddy Jake Weber, man.
Yeah, big time. I didn't even hear about that, so sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I hate to start out that way, but, you know, we love Jake, so.
Well, now I feel like drinking.
Right. Well,
I got a cocktail.
We got plenty of places to do that in our town and around.
A lot of people
we
drinking.
Get down just like Junior Brown.
Getting down like Junior Brown. A lot of people just going right over the hill to Morrison's Irish Pub to get drunk and sing Irish sea shanties.
Right.
The whole place gets drunk and sings along while some musicians give you an accompaniment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Also,
got the night market tonight featuring Anna Shonoff.
Anna Shonoff at 7 to 10 p.m. at the Pocket Park next to Jacoby's. Stopped by last weekend and caught just the last half of the Mind Frames set. Them boys sounded good.
They ended up taking that same lineup and adding Lofty's Comet for a show down at the conservatory, just a pop-up show, and that was fabulous as well.
Nice.
So that was Biff Gnarly and Mind Frames and Distant Eyes, right?
Yep, and those they all sounded. I missed Biff Gnarly. Didn't get down there in time to see him.
Yeah, we were on the air at that time.
I missed the whole show, unfortunately. I was out of town playing with Stone Sugar, and I was bummed out because that looked like a really good lineup.
Oh, yeah, they tore up the town.
Old school Alton days.
It was
we were talking
old school to you youngsters, maybe.
No, to me, I'm new to Alton. I've been here about 3 years.
We were talking last week. That's the old basement scene that we talked about back in the early days of Riverbend Talent when we seen that coming, and now they have taken over Broadway pretty much. You got the studio down there, the Alton Music Exchange. You got all kinds of stuff down there that come from that
kind of
group
popped
of
up
folks,
from
man.
Kind of popped up from those. What was it? The Foxhole and Metal Gears or something like that. It was just two houses.
Yeah, that's what was popping off when I came up here, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah,
the music scene here was so cool.
Even
that's what inspired me to do Happy Trails.
That's awesome, really. Metal Gears and the Foxhole, those basement scenes.
The scene in general,
scene,
you know, and even, know, all the music around, like even the amphitheater, like going down to the Jazz Fest, just the music in this town.
Yeah. There's a lot of it. So what I remember about that when we first came across that basement scene was that we both played basement parties in our bands back in the day, and
a choice.
The goal was
the only place to play.
Is the only place that let us play, and that
only lasted till the cops showed up.
Well, that was the goal: is to keep it quiet. Right. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah,
and these
we
guys
were trying
like
to keep it quiet. Oh, you mean that kind of quiet?
Well, yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of loud bands back then.
I mean, they were like advertising it, and it's like, advertise a house party? You're supposed to keep that quiet because the cops are going to bust it.
Came a few times.
Sure. Oh, crazy. Yeah,
also going on tonight, Borderline 7 to 11 at Fast Eddie's. They got the open mic down at the conservatory from 8 until 11. Alton Municipal Band with the Gospel Ensemble tonight at 8 o'clock in Riverview Park in Alton. Open mic hosted by Eberhardt and Light out at Baker's and Hale and Godfrey tonight from 6 to 10. The Far Gone Brothers 7 to 8 at Music in the Park in Bethalto. Gabe Marshall up at George's Local Brew in Jerseyville from 7 to 10. Grafton Music in the Park is taking a break.
Too hot.
Yeah, well, I think they take a break around the 4th of July. And so they're going to hold off until July 29th, which will be hotter. So I don't think it has anything to do with hot. But 7 to 9 usually for Grafton Music in the Park. Strings and Keys 6 to 9 at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville. Scott Marlin 6 to 9 at Old Harold Brewery in Collinsville. Dave Horton 6 to 9 at Prairie Inn in Dorsey, and Greg Manis 7 to 11 at Doit's Village Inn in Pontoon Beach. That's all tonight, and that's the only ones that we know about.
Yeah, but that's a nice page full of stuff happening on this side of the river, just on a Thursday night. So, like you say, a nice little music scene happening around this little river bend town. And now, when you first came to town, what were the bands you first remember seeing that you went, wow, I like those guys?
Royal Vessels, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Biff Gnarly was always a really good show. Prescription Cigarettes, anything that Brennan was doing. I played with him in a short project called Peach Jet right there at the beginning that was really fun. And, just all around good times.
Good times, right. Yep, so that you moved down here from Granite City. Now, Granite City's got a decent little music scene happening.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, we got quite a few clubs we talk about down there, and a couple of bands that have popped out of down there. Was it happening like that? I mean, when you left,
there was stuff going on in Granite. There was a couple bars that had music a lot. I will say it has seemed to grow, which is really cool.
Yeah,
I'm happy to see that. There's people down there doing some good work for the music scene, and rock on.
Yeah, we hear great things about that Jacob Myers.
The
owner of Jacob Myers. What a
Played
great!
Here a few times with Spilly. Yeah, that's a really good spot, man.
Yeah, we hear that. Everybody says how the owner's just a friend of the musician and a friend of the songwriter, and basically that's why he has it, is to keep music pumping down there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know Scott and Michelle come from down there, and they've been doing lots of good stuff, getting music out down there.
The legendary awesome, Bonnie Bramlett.
Yeah,
the Granite City. Yeah,
the legendary Bonnie Bramlett, one of the people who helped form rock and roll the way that it is.
Exactly.
Lives in Granite City. I mean, her job. The labels would pay her when somebody wanted to do a song. The labels paid her to come in. They'd listen to the artist do the song and they'd go, that's not right. Bonnie, come in. Here's the music. How would you sing it? Just sing it how you do it. And then she'd sing it, and then they go, you impersonate what she did. She would sing the records, to do scratch records for the real stars to impersonate what she was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's helping form rock and roll back there. And it still blows me away. She was an Ikeette at 15, traveling around with Ike Turner, 15 years old. Gosh, 15, I was dreaming of, learning how to tune my guitar properly. I still can't get it right.
She pointed out subtly that all her friends are those rock stars we idolized for all those years, but those were her real friends because she jumped into the music business so young.
Yeah.
That's all she knew was those guys, specifically Eric Clapton, which was her best friend.
Yeah. So. She grew up around it, didn't think nothing. Another one we just met from Granite City, Kevin. Yeah. Kevin Hamilton. What another straight up real rock and roll guy there,
Artisan Studios down there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the place that you come from and you left to come here is actually blowing up. Maybe you left too early. No, I'm just teasing.
I love Alton, man.
I'm totally teasing you. When you got down here, like I remember the first band I remember you being in was Grand House. Was that your first band coming down?
Are you going to tell the Grand House story? Or the part you heard of Grand House?
Oh no, I won't go. Oh no. No, I won't talk about the Chinese restaurant. I was just gonna say, was that your first band though when you first moved down here?
Grand House, it was like, it still is. We haven't done anything in a while, but it's still like a thing. It's like basically my best friends from Granite.
Nice.
One of them moved to LA, and we're still keeping it going though. We still get together and jam here and there. And I'm actually in the process of building a studio. So once that's finished up, we're gonna get in there and cut the next Grand House album. So. Cool. New Grand House coming out after about 5 years.
There you go.
Well, you guys played the last Happy Trails, right? And that was in the middle of winter in January.
We did. Yeah, it was me and Austin.
Because we had you guys on. It was a little over a year ago now.
I think that's been, we skipped 1 year. We skipped a whole year. So
he was in January of 2020.
No, yeah,
before it all happened.
Oh, that's right.
My festival was right before COVID hit, and I didn't miss a beat back in 2021. So
ironically, he said that day he wanted to do a summer festival.
He
had no idea it was going to come down that way.
You had no idea what you were manifesting with that statement.
I hope I didn't manifest COVID.
That was going to be called Happy Tales.
Happy Tales is still an idea that I have, and that's just a spin-off of the name Happy Trails. And Happy Tales would be a benefit for like pet shelters. And my little dog Cheech went missing last December, and it got me really like interested in just helping out the pet scene, I guess, in this area.
Now, and I don't want to break open any old wounds or give any hope, but I heard Cheech was hanging out with another dog named Chong.
That's what's up.
And I heard
it was Ralph and Herbie. I seen them sniffing each other's butts.
Hopefully old Cheech is doing
that's what dogs do. That's how they say hello.
Yeah. I seen him do that bit live on stage. You were there. Chong,
I
right?
was there.
It wasn't
right.
Cheech, though.
No, just Chong.
Did he do that with his? Well, he was sniffing somebody.
He did that the time we saw him when he was shooting the television pilot or whatever. Anyway, so you are, as you said, you wanted to. Bash said Dennis said you wanted to do a summer festival.
You can call me Ray. You can call me Jay. You can call me.
Call you sexy.
That'd be fake news.
Last winter, you said you want to do a summer festival. Here you are. You're due to the circumstances of the world and maybe what you manifested with that statement. We are now looking at a summer festival.
Yeah, it's really nice. I found a venue that'll have me in town. It'll be a nice experiment this year to see how it goes outside.
And that venue is the Cottage Hills VFW, which this past summer has been the local festival center with one popping off about every month. You're the last one until September that I know of. So you got, this is the last, that's happening not this coming weekend.
It'll be next weekend, the 16th and 17th at the Cottage Hills VFW.
There you go. And anybody who, I know a lot of people who have been going to the Trinity River Fest and to the Bush Fest out there for the past year or two have sort of I see a lot of the same faces coming to both of those because people understand, this is a cool place to go hang out for the weekend.
Right.
The Hopper Fest was new out there this year, and it brought a lot of new faces. Hopefully all those people are now going, oh, what else goes on out there? I want to go to another one of those because it is a nice place to just hang out. Big field, lots of room to spread out if you want to spread out.
Right, it's super comfy. I love the atmosphere there, and they have a stage already built, which is nice. And we're bringing a second stage in, and we're going to put it fairly close to the main stage, so people come in to enjoy the music won't have to go far for the music, which is what it's all about. We'll have vendors out there kind of surrounding the stage area too, so there'll be plenty of cool stuff to check out.
Right. So, and food vendors, I imagine.
Yeah. We got a couple food vendors coming through. I have a guy coming out that's going to sell like frozen drinks inside pineapples. I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Is that legal?
We're going to find out.
Yeah, I guess we will.
In this county, I think it is. Don't get caught in Jersey
County. If I ask that question, it's got to be fun.
Why is DEET illegal? That's not that fun. Anyway.
You used to follow the DEET truck around.
I did. In the 70s.
Riding your bike, right?
That was something to do in the 70s. You know, the DEET truck's coming through. Everybody get behind it. And then the whole goal is to see how long you could stay behind it before you just swerve off into a yard because you're just, all DEETed up. Call it getting into the belly of the beast. The closer you could get, to the truck, you're fogged out.
7-year-old.
That's what the 70s were fun. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time, I gotta say.
Yeah. Hey, there's things your generation are never going to get to enjoy that me and Dennis here did get to enjoy. You ever heard of jarts?
No.
Jarts were yard darts.
Okay, I know what those are.
Yeah, you basically stand in a hula hoop and they're an actual dart with a big metal tip, and you're supposed to throw it at the other ring. But our goal was we could fit 4 of us in one of those rings and we'd throw it straight up and see who played chicken, see who could dive out at the last minute without getting hit by the dart. Why don't they let kids have fun like that anymore? Now the jarts have flat things where they just kind of land in the yard. No, nobody's going to die from that.
We used to lay in the back window of cars. Up on the back seat.
Totally legal.
Our parents would tell us to do it.
Right, totally legal. Loved it, man.
But I'll tell you one thing. When the car broke down, we had to walk somewhere. We wasn't picking up no phone and calling nobody.
And Marshall looked at you like, how do you lay in the back window of a car? Because the back windows of cars now are like, tiny, but they used to have huge dashboards you could lay in. 2 kids could lay up in the back dashboard of an old Buick. No, I don't know.
Living in a car back then was a lot easier. It was easier to live in a car back then. Behind each seat, you could put a kid. Have a little bed right there. Right. Some of them cars were so big.
So you let's get back to talking to Marshall about Happy Trails. I don't know what's happening here anymore.
We're just barely off the rails there.
Barely off the rails, but it was heading toward the ditch.
Well, that's good. Right where the bike with Doit went. So, all right.
Whoa, yeah. Good times. So you said that the Alton music scene inspired you to do the Happy Trails. Like, what made you think festival? Like, you're going to these local shows at the Foxhole or at some of the maybe some of the local places. What made you think festival? I'm going to have an all day festival.
Okay, so this is kind of there's a lot there's a lot of.
It's a loaded question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Circumstances.
Earth Tones is always, that's going on up here.
Yeah.
Like that's an awesome show. Even those basement shows we were talking about before, it seems like we were trying to pack like as many bands as you possibly could into a night.
Yeah.
And I also just enjoy music festivals. I used to go to the Schwags, down in southern Missouri, Schwagstock events. I did Bonnaroo several times. But jam-packing as much music as you can, getting some local vendors out, getting some crafts out there, art in multiple different forms, just as much as you possibly can into like a 1 or 2 day event. That's kind of what I'm about. Like, I like doing that. So it gives people something to do. It's fun. Good time.
And for everyone who's never been to a music festival in the sense of, this keeps going and going kind of thing, if you enjoy music and really enjoy live music, enjoy camping, enjoy that sort of thing, go out and experience the music festival because it is a counterculture almost. It is a life of its own going on out there with the, its own, vendors, its own kind of, food. It's kind of like a lot of the festival scene splits off from what used to be the Grateful Dead tour where it was, this all-day affair. Just to go see a concert was an all-day affair.
Was that before or after Woodstock?
that was before Woodstock. The Grateful
What about the
Dead
Isle of Wight? Where was that at?
Now, have you seen the Summer of Soul? That
Monterey?
was the Black Woodstock.
Oh, okay.
Is what they called it. It happened at Harlem in the summer of '69.
I thought it'd be Detroit.
No, amazing festival that's been buried, and Questlove finally bought the footage and put it out. And it's just been sitting in some guy's basement with all this footage since '69.
I think Elvis and Carl Perkins and Jerry Lee Lewis had a festival once, but they didn't have a fancy name. No one remembers it.
Yeah, that was called the Don't Step on My Blue State Suede Shoes, You Hound Dog. I don't know. Great balls of something. Anyway, yeah. So you got inspired to do the all-day music, or the long music festival to help fit more bands in without having to rush them off after 2-3 songs. Give them a little more time.
Right.
That is one thing I will say about the festivals is sometimes the sets are a wee bit short, especially from a musician standpoint. If you've only got a 45-minute set, you barely get warmed up. You're just getting loose and it's time to quit. And from a fan standpoint, the same thing. If that's the band you came to see and they've only got 45 minutes, that has always been the downfall of the fest. But it's worth it for the payoff is that as soon as that band goes off, another band's coming on. So that's the trade-off, I guess, for it.
How about the Festival Train Express?
That was
Bonnie Bramlett was on that through
Bonnie Bramlett was on that. That's right, Granite City and Bonnie.
Right.
That was an amazing
With
festival
Janice
too. You ever
Joplin.
check that one out?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Express.
I kind of have an idea of something I want to do around here that's similar
On a
to
train?
that. No, not on a train.
Yeah.
I was ready
We've
for
discussed this.
We did.
well,
we did talk about it a little bit. I don't know if I want to drop
I
it
think
in,
it's a good idea. So let's talk about your lineup this year. Who do you got? Who you got going on?
So this year, I'm going to read this off. So this year we have One-Way Traffic coming out.
Nice.
Which, up and coming bluegrass. Those guys, what they're doing is great. Old Salt Trio, which is going to be a couple of the guys from Old Salt Union, and then Justin Torres from Clusterplex coming through, and then my band Stone Sugar Shakedown is going to be playing a doubleheader. We're going to do a full set of Stone Sugar. Take a break while Raw Earth plays, and then we're going to come back and do a whole Grateful Dead performance, like first set, second set, drums, bass, like the works.
Nice.
So
nice.
It's going to be a good time. I said Raw Earth, Spilly Nelson, Hideous Gentleman, Anna's coming out, who's playing down at the night market tonight. I'm going to go check her out here in a little bit when we finish up.
Yeah.
Ian Whitmore, Lofty's Comet, Timeless Corridor, the Sandwich Brothers Band. Set Break Sarah's, Nyko, Lauren Waters, Rory Morris, Darius, Darian Rowe, and the Dancing Bear Tribe's going to also come out and
Excellent.
And like do their thing. They do like fire dancing, hoop dancing. They're going to do some workshops. I also added an indoor stage. I wasn't sure if I was going to do indoor because of COVID, but the restrictions are lifted. People seem to be cool with going in. So I've got like a whole list of bands that I'm actually still working on a weekend festival, getting lined up for inside.
A last minute stage, not a last minute act thrown in, a last minute stage thrown in.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'll be exciting. Any ideas who's going to be on that stage yet?
I booked the Peace Lords are coming through from St. Louis. The Intrusion.
Nice.
Everheart and Light's coming through.
Cool.
Who else coming through? I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's a new thing.
It's a new thing. We're
it
putting you on the
is,
spot
yeah.
there. That's all right. And you were talking about your band Stone Sugar Shakedown. So you've been with several different bands through the years that I've known you, and this is one that you've jammed with in the past, and you're back jamming with these guys again. Old Nick Elwood and. Elwood. I always think of the Blues Brothers when I say that. I don't know. You can't say the name Elwood without thinking of the Blues Brothers or maybe Pete's Lounge. Anyway, so
That's a good movie.
It is a great movie. So you playing with Stone Sugar Shakedown. Got any other shows coming up with those guys?
Yeah, we have a whole summer into fall of events that we're playing. We're doing the Boathouse in Forest Park every month, basically through September.
Nice.
Happy Trails coming up. Willow Springs down in Southern Illinois. And then we're doing Jerry Day at Rose Music Hall in Columbia, Missouri.
Sweet.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one on Jerry's birthday, August 1st. And then we have Gnome Stock 2 in August. I think it's August 12th and 15th, and then Framley Fest at the beginning of September on the 3rd through the 5th. So
excellent, man. You got a lot going on. Have you been down to the Gnome Stock? Did you go down to the Gnome
I
Stock?
I played Gnome Stock 1 with Stone Sugar in 2019.
Awesome.
It was a really cool festival, and it was nice to be there for the first one and kind of see the people, what they're trying to get going down there.
Right.
And I'm really looking forward to the second one. So.
Now, that was a pretty good drive away. Where was that one at?
To be honest, I don't remember. I think it was in Southern Illinois.
I think it was
somewhere.
close down to like Metropolis, Illinois, or somewhere
it was
down,
Southern
down
Illinois,
in that area.
It's in Fort Leonard Wood this year.
Superman.
And from what I see, that's a lot of the Swagstock people, like people from Zoe. They went down there. That seemed like they're putting that show on. So
nice.
Anybody, any swaggers out there, look out for Gnome Stock. So that's cool.
Right on. So that is the Stone Sugar Shakedown, and you can definitely catch them next weekend right at the Happy Trails Festival, playing both Friday and Saturday, or just Saturday?
No, just Saturday.
Just Saturday,
Yeah.
but doing the long show on Saturday. So there you go. All right, let's why don't we run through our Friday gigs as the time is starting to wind down, so we got some time to continue talking to Mr. Marshall here.
We got pianos at the Raging Cajun on Friday night, and don't forget the house drummer there, Gary Cooper had that accident on his motorcycle, and they're collecting money for him on their Facebook page, Raging Cajun. Borderline 2 to 6, Generation X 7:30 to 11:30 at Fast Eddie's. Super Diamond 8 to 10 at Liberty Bank Amphitheater in Alton. Dave Scott 7 to 11 at the VFW in Alton. HOOKiE 7 o'clock at Baker's and Hale in Godfrey on Friday. Gabbie and the Real Deal. Not the other deal, the real deal. 7 p.m. at the Moose in Wood River. Go ahead, Pigpen.
We got fried chicken buffet with Elvis, $50. That is Steve Davis doing the Elvis impersonation, and you got a fried chicken buffet to go along with that. That is a $50 ticket. 6:30 p.m. at Pere Marquette Lodge.
I want to see a
Grafton.
picture of Steve Davis chowing on some chicken.
That would be awesome.
In his
Elvis suit,
right.
For sure. Hey, baby, hand me that butter for my chicken. That's a horrible Elvis impersonation. Horrible. Why would you do that? How lazy is that? Why wouldn't I work on it first? I don't.
Think he puts mayonnaise and peanut butter on it?
Dude, don't.
Were you like planning on doing the Elvis impersonation this entire show?
I've been working on it since never.
He reads everything cold, so
I don't look at this stuff till we go on the air.
that's why I throw in the bones like that. And Elvis is a chicken bone this time.
Deep fried mayonnaise balls. That's what Elvis liked to eat. I don't know.
All right. Also on Friday night, Warehouse Project, 6 o'clock at the Loading Dock in Grafton. Johnathan Baker, 4 o'clock at Aeries Winery in Grafton. Bolderdash, 6:30 to 10:30 at Grafton Pub. Every Little Thing, 9:30 at Patrick's in Granite City. Flipside, 7 o'clock at the Elks Club in Granite City. Heartbreak Line, 8 to 11 at Doit's Village Inn in Pontoon Beach. Dave Catani, 7 o'clock at the Outlet at Edison's in Edwardsville. Dave Horton, 6 to 9 at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville. There's your band, Big Ben.
Pussycat and the Swallowtails, 9 p.m. at the Back Barn, Edwardsville. I love that name. Good job. Fine job naming your band, guys. Pussycat and the Swallowtails.
That's right. Don't leave out the Swallowtail.
Oh, no.
We also got Pussycat, and you got a cat fight.
Then you just got a Pussycat. That's,
right.
You got to have the Swallowtails to really finish the show. All right, we also got Lanny and Julie, 5 to 7 p.m. at the Blue Marlin Band, 8 to 12 p.m. at the Firefighters Homecoming in Maryville, Illinois.
That's happening Friday and Saturday. Different lineup on Saturday. We'll get to that in a minute. Double Tap, 7 o'clock at the Cabin at Judy Creek and Glen Carbon. Butch Moore, 5:30 to 8 at the American Legion in Collinsville. And guess what's back at the Stagger Inn, Big Ben?
What is back at the Stagger Inn?
We'll get to that on Sunday.
Probably.
But it involves Butch Moore, so...
What's he been doing there for the last 30 years on
hard.
Sunday? Well,
Yeah.
we'll find out next episode. I don't know. Power Trip, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Friday night at the Corner Keg in Highland, Illinois.
And finally, Friday night, Dave Caputo, 5 o'clock at the Long Shot Tiki Bar in Portage de Sioux.
Man, I was just over there. That Tiki Bar is a nice place. They have a huge cigar boat parked outside there with the Long Shot. It's right next to Mike LaRosa's Cabana Bar.
Not Tony LaRussa.
Not Tony LaRussa's, Mike LaRosa's. So, I was just over there at Portage de Sioux over the weekend, and both those places are very nice places built right on the river.
Did you have mimosa?
No, I had a boat ride and a jet ski ride is what I had. But unfortunately, the Portage de Sioux people, when they rent it to you, they say you can go from this island to that island for the next 2 hours in a circle. And it's like, you should have told me that before I spent an hour filling out paperwork, because I would have told you absolutely not.
Yeah.
The manager kept calling me captain, too. It's like, captains of boats get to go more than in a circle.
Yeah.
Captains of boats get to go up the river. But anyway, Portage de Sioux does have some cool stuff, though.
Yeah.
If you're going to rent them, the same owner owns one in Grafton. I hear it's much better. Less rules, I understand. So.
Folks living around the river, though, I'm sure, if they want to go out there, they've got a buddy that's got a boat.
Yeah, I had a buddy with a boat, and I got a little handsy with him at the Christmas party last year. He don't talk to me no more.
It was in the paper. They still make those?
I don't.
I'm not sure.
What's the paper? Is that like the internet made out of like real material? I don't know. All right, what's happening Saturday?
Oh, we're going to do Saturday? We're going to go right into it?
I think we should, because otherwise I don't know what's going to happen in the next 35 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm scared. Saturday starts early, 8 a.m.
Christmas in July Saturday. That's what they're having.
No. Remember, they used to always have those commercials, the Christmas in July commercials.
Yeah.
Who did those around here?
The lady on the carpet. Did she?
Maybe that Becky and Wanda. I don't know.
Yeah.
Silly carpet riding ladies, carpetbaggers. All right, the Alton Farmers and Artisans Market, Christmas in July is happening 8 a.m. to noon, and that is at the corner of Landmark Boulevard and Henry and downtown Alton. That's happening Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm. Pianos at the Raging Cajun Saturday. Lofty's Comet 8 o'clock at Shea Maryland's in Alton. Naked Soul 2 to 6 and Generation X 7:30 to 11:30 at Fast Eddie's Bon Air in Alton.
And we got Whiskey Bent.
Go ahead.
Whiskey Bent 6 to 10 p.m. at Chubby's in Alton. Chubby's where everybody's raging for a chubby.
Yeah.
Then we got Rogers. I don't know if that's
Chubby
their slogan
burger.
or not, but it should be.
They got good burgers.
They got the Chubby burgers. It's more than a mouthful. Then we got Rogers and Neenhouse 7 p.m. at Baker's and Hale on Saturday evening.
Right?
They are going to be our guest in just a couple weeks. I got a call from Terry Jones Rogers the other day, and they got something coming up. So we got him coming in. We also got X Crush 7 p.m. at Roper's Regal Beagle, an amazing new stage out there that they've built. So.
Yeah, I got a little beef with that stage.
Really? What's the beef with it?
Well, think about it. Where's the parking? So you got to drive through a parking lot, past the stage into another parking lot. So if they got people wanting to stand in front of the stage, they're standing in the middle of the drive for the parking lot. It's kind of an odd spot for a stage. That's all I'm thinking, because you had Molly Hatchet out there. Yeah. People wanted to gather around the stage, but they had to park across the street because
the place was full. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Odd.
When Molly Hatchet's there, you probably get a few
So when you're
extra
playing
cars.
out there, cars drive by in front of you.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is.
He is where he is, man.
It is what
Aren't
it is.
these drive-by
I'm just saying
concerts
that's
the thing of the future.
Drive-bys. Yeah, that's true. There could be some drive-bys in those concerts. Watch what you're playing. Watch what you're saying.
Well, I know down at the Pump House Saturday night, Chicken Switch, acoustic version of Chicken Switch is going on from 4 to 8 p.m. and then Rock Bottom 9 to 1 p.m. at the Pump House. Get down there, watch some rock and roll, play some pinball. Then DJ Matthew Franz, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. at the Franchise in Wood River, doing a late night show there at the Franchise.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they're doing down at the Franchise now. They're a DJ place.
Right. We got the Colossal Wreck, 9 p.m. at Doc Holiday's in Cottage Hills.
Right, here's a new place, Audio Distillery, featuring Jones Effect, 4 o'clock at Blue Stem Vodka Distillery in Bethalton.
Wow, now I've been up to Blue Stem. It is just a nice little sort of outdoor bar right behind the distillery there, where they just open up some garage doors and you can buy some nice Blue Stem vodka cocktails.
Now which one is that? Which
Blue
distillery?
Stem, that is up in Meadowbrook, Illinois, right on 140, right? Basically kind of across from the Casey's there in Meadowbrook.
I think the address is officially Bethalto, but we know it is Meadowbrook.
Distilleries on
in addition to Blue Stem, which is in Meadowbrook, we also got Mastermind, which is down in Pontoon Beach, Illinois.
That's
and
Mastermind Vodka American Distillery.
Yeah, they are. They are premium.
Pontoon Beach.
At Pontoon Beach, and they've got a little place now with a
when
venue
are the weed venues going to open? We got new vodka, and we need some weed venues. What's the holdup there?
It's on the way, man.
It's on the way. Where?
Well, as soon as they'll give me my license to have one, I'll open one.
That's
I'm ready.
what I'm talking about.
All I need is someone to give me the green light, so to speak, and the green room will be open. I'm ready to open it right in the sky room, right above us here, 2 stories above us.
They still can't find the tax money they raised off all that marijuana they sold.
Well, I'm sure they know where it is.
Haven't you noticed? The tax went up on other stuff.
Well, that's
it's not lining up. Something about those signs in people's yards is starting to make sense.
Yeah, well, there's this whole idea that no matter how much tax money you give the tax man, it is never, ever enough. So.
Well, let me tell you something about Colorado. I was out there when they started, and they gave money back to the taxpayers.
I remember that. Yeah.
So somebody knows how to do it. Yeah, and then the taxpayers said, what? We get money back? Never mind, just keep it. Because if it's helping, it's helping. And we didn't plan on that, and you didn't plan on that. So let's just do the right thing.
I remember that. I remember when Colorado announced that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you that out of all of because I've been following the cannabis culture for decades and decades. And I tell you, the one thing that came out of Colorado that really put a smile on my face was after 1 year of recreational medical marijuana, it was announced that Colorado's Medicaid bill was cut down by over 50%.
There you go.
Because most of the medicines these old people were taking, they didn't need. They just need to smoke a little cannabis.
Yep.
Takes care of your depression, takes care of your appetite problem, takes care of your sleep problems.
A little CBD maybe, you know.
A whole lot of CBD.
Not into
Not a
that.
little bit, a lot.
You don't want to get loopy.
Take a bath in it.
You can go non-THC now, you know, but it's helping people, and that's the main thing you're talking about.
Yeah,
so
yeah, absolutely.
No matter what version.
That's what I'm saying.
No matter what version, right?
Yeah. So there you go. Where was we at? I got so lost in all
we was going
that.
to
I don't
talk
even know
about
what's going on.
vodka. Come on.
Oh, yeah, hard to forget about vodka.
Anyway,
Speaking of which,
move along for Saturday. 12 gauge, 3 to 6, and borderline 8 to 12 at the Fireman's Picnic at how do you say this? Ressie James Bertinoli Park in Bunker Hill. I don't even know.
I don't
even know how to say Ressie James. I'm not even sure if that's right.
Ressie James was Jesse James' twin brother.
That's what I kept thinking.
Yeah. Rhyming man. All right. We also got the Ivan John Duo, 3 to 7 p.m. at the Grafton Winery on this Saturday evening.
That's Ivis.
Ivis,
Anyways,
I don't know.
well, he cares.
He don't care.
Oh,
he wishes he was
They're
Ivan.
going to be doing a
Ivan
drive-by on
Jones
your
is way
stage.
better. No, I don't even know this poor guy. Never met him.
There's a band called 12 Gauge in there, too. Just keep that in mind. Owls, 5 o'clock at the loading dock. You didn't get their name wrong. Owls, 5 o'clock at the loading dock in Grafton. Outlaw Opry, 7 o'clock at the Oyster Bar in Grafton. And Lolo better be listening up here because he's going to be up in Grafton.
That's right.
Skylark Brothers, 2 to 6. And Soulshine Groove, 7 to 11 at Grafton Pub.
Nice.
Fireside, 7 to 11 at the Gold Bar at Rustic Retreats in Grafton.
Excellent.
Dan Sproat, 12 to 3, and Jim and Carl, 3 to 7 at Aeries Winery in Grafton. And that wraps up the Grafton for Saturday.
One more.
That's
Oh,
Pontoon
no,
Beach.
you're right. That is Pontoon
And that's
Beach.
a big deal, though.
It is. It's a big deal. Big deal. 12 a.m. to noon at Doit's
What?
Village Inn in Pontoon Beach.
12 a.m. to noon.
I don't know. I don't know what it says, dude. I don't. Yeah, I'm stuck on that 8 a.m. to 12.
I'd like to see them
I
open
don't
the
think
bar at
that's
midnight
happening.
and
Yeah.
go till noon.
That would be awesome. I
For the
think
guys who work the late shift.
that'd be pops, right? So sorry, big deal.
Right.
8
That's
to
12.
midnight.
Yeah.
Yes, and that is at Doit's Village Inn on Saturday evening.
That's not fake news.
That's not big news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
You got it right, finally, is what I'm saying.
Sorry, big deal.
So,
I'll still buy stuff from you because you got good prices.
Yeah. And that's
What
a
are we
big
talking
deal.
about?
We're talking about the Southside Bluesy Boys, 9:30 at Patrick's in Granite City, Flipside, 7 to 11 at Hooches and 16 in Granite. Dave Horton Acoustic Country, 7 o'clock at the Marina at Holiday Shores in Edwardsville. The Silver Bullet STL Bob Seger Tribute, 8 o'clock at the Wild E Theater in Edwardsville, Mr. Steve Tennant.
All them tenant boys can play.
Oh,
There
they
ain't no
can.
one of them can't play an instrument, man.
Cecil. Right?
Except maybe Chris. I don't think Chris can.
I wouldn't say that to him.
I wouldn't say it to his face. He'll punch me right in my mouth.
Nah, he's laughing at you.
Cheers for charity. All kinds of live music happening 2 p.m. at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville.
It's a charity
on
event.
Saturday.
Here's that other thing we talked about. Lanny and Julie, 4 to 6, and the Blue Marlin Band, 8 to 12 at the Firefighters Homecoming in Maryville. It was the same bands, wasn't it?
It was. Also, Tanglefoot, 6 to 10 p.m. at Wild Pickens up in Chesterfield, Illinois.
Age at 99, 3 o'clock at Prairie Inn in Dorsey. Pussycat and the Swallowtails, 3 to 7 at the 1428 Tap House in Swansea. Butch Moore, 5 to 9 at Copper Dock Winery in Belleville. And the Soulard Blues Band, 3 to 7
nice.
at the Longshot Tiki Bar in Portage de Sul.
That takes care of Saturday, man.
Guarantee.
There's a lot of stuff going on in around this little river area, man.
we
And
got
we're
a
not
page.
talking St. Louis.
We got a page of Sunday even. So,
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's too much.
And that's the big news about the Stagger Inn
Well, let's get to it.
coming.
Let's get to it and get it going. No.
So the open mic night is back at the Stagger Inn.
Yeah, and that has been going on with Butch Moore for decades, I
Yeah, I
think.
think
So.
35 years,
Yeah,
something like that.
long time.
He's got a bunch of tapes. Man, what a great interview we did with Butch, and we need to have him back because we learned so much. And, that guy has got a lot of people started in this area.
He is happy to let anyone come up and play and sing. Just get there early enough to sign up. That's all you got to do.
And it's all archived on his audio tapes. He recorded all that stuff. There'd be some stuff to dig into there.
Yeah, you could go back and find some people who've never only played once, never played again.
So we got new times for that, and we'll get to that in a minute. Naked Soul 1 to 5, Hollywood 5, 6 to 10 at Fast Eddie's on Sunday. Cricket and the Grilled Avocados 3 to 7 at Chubby's in Alton on Sunday. The Alton Municipal Band with William Schmalbeck Jazz Ensemble 7 o'clock at Haskell Park in Alton. Acoustic DNA 2 to 6 at the Pump House in Wood River. Back in the Saddle 1 to 5 at Grafton Winery. The Yacht Rockers, Wherehouse, 3 o'clock at the Loading Dock in Grafton. Philip Russo, 1 to 5 at Grafton Pub. Lead Sled, 7 o'clock at the Oyster Bar in Grafton on Sunday. Still Smoking, 2 o'clock at Wild Pickens in Chesterfield. Corey Ebbets, 4 o'clock at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville. And here it is, open mic with Butch Moore, 5 to 9. Now instead of doing Naked at 11, they do Naked at 7 at the Stagger Inn in Edwardsville. And that is a blast there.
Yeah, good times. I have played up there at the open mics.
All right, I'm exhausted. You got to take over.
All right, we got Rachel Dushani, 6 p.m. at the Old Herald Brewery in Collinsville. And then Dave Horton, 2 p.m. at Who Dat's in Collinsville.
I think that's Deshane.
Deshane, I don't know Rachel. She don't know me. So
she will. She will.
Midlife Duo, 2 p.m. at the Cabinet, Judy Creek in Glen Carbon.
Texting her right now. Sending her your number.
Let her know. Hey, send her my way, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fight fair. I ain't worried.
I know.
Pay Dirt, 5 p.m. at Patrick's in Granite City, Illinois. Bobby Rowlands of the Beowulf fame, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Doit's Village Inn in Pontoon Beach. Soulshine Groove, 1 to 5 at Rooster's Pub in Staunton. And finally, Truckers, 3 to 7 and at the Long Shot Tiki Bar in Portage to Sioux. That's all Sunday. Sunday.
I think I might have covered you up on the Midlife Duo at 2 o'clock at the Cabin at Judy Creek just to make sure they get the mention. And, Soulshine Groove,
yeah,
those guys are maintenance guys at Lewis and Clark.
Nice. They should be called the Maintenance Men.
Oh, man, Soulshine Groove's a way cooler name.
Soulshine Maintenance Groove. I don't know. I'm just trying to
Soulshine, I wish I had an air conditioner groove.
That's me right now. That is me right now. It is hot in my house right now.
You got a pool. Just go out to your pool.
It's not a big deal. You know where it's going to feel good? Out at the VFW next weekend. The VFW in Cottage Hills, right off, really basically at the corner of 140 and 255 is where it's located, if you don't know. That's where the Happy Trails Festival will be going on, happening Friday and Saturday. What time does it kick off Friday?
Show's going to kick off Friday at 4 p.m. First act goes on at 4:50, so give people some time to shuffle on in and
get your seats set up. There you go. That is the voice of Mr. Marshall Ingrassia, in case you forgot during all those gigs we were mentioning. I got dizzy during it. I'm sure everyone else did too.
A lot of music.
I'm normally dizzy, so it's not a big deal. But that's a lot of music, isn't it? That's pages and pages.
You
just
guys make it look pro. I was just sitting here watching you go back and forth.
Yeah, we're actually figuring out how to do it finally.
5 years and we've almost got it down, but no, not really.
Not really.
Well, the thing is, most like radio teams, where they probably go on and put like, you do the red ones and I'll do the blue ones or something, or they have you do every other one. We don't even talk about what we're going to say before we come in.
Are you serious? I thought for sure you had to have had it lined up or something like that.
No, we didn't. We don't even discuss what we're like. We walk in, we say hi to each other, we turn on the mic, so we start.
Pretty simple,
show.
Man. When you've been smoking weed with your buddy for as long as we have, man, we don't even know we're on the radio right now. We're just, we think, radio? Yeah.
What's the radio?
Yeah.
Is this live?
We're actually just sitting around at a table somewhere.
Hey, you know what? Let's start this whole thing over. I think I messed up. Can we do that? Let's take it from the top, boys.
And here we go. Marshall Ingrassia is here tonight, thanks to Halpin Music Company, Mr. Matt Van Boers, and Michael Crider from Farmers Insurance. We needed to do that anyways.
Yeah, we needed to throw the sponsors out again anyway. So let's get back to Mr. Marshall Ingrassia. You say starting music. gates open at 4 p.m. Friday? And doors, music kicks off at 4:50.
Through midnight. Yeah, it's at 4:50 through midnight on Friday, and then gates will be again noon Saturday.
And what time does the music kick off on Saturday?
12:30.
Yeah.
So
Marshall.
A lot of music Saturday.
That is a lot. Marshall is the promoter of this, so there's a lot of bases to cover when you're promoting. You got to line up the bands, you got to line up the stages, the PA.
You got to play bass.
You got to play bass. You got to get vendors. You feel like you covered most of your bases?
Yeah, I'm getting there. This is the biggest the show's ever been, and it's definitely a labor of love. I spend better half of a year getting a lot of it together.
Yeah.
And so
a little extra time.
There's more than you could ever imagine. I mean, you throw a show, but
So let me ask you this: Have you got 2 stages? So you're gonna have 2 PAs and 2 sound
coming, maybe.
2 PAs, 2 sound crews. You got 3 stages. Yeah. Have you got your sound crews the lineup yet, so they know what band comes on what time? I'm just curious if you've done that yet, because my intel says you haven't.
there's a lineup out there. I've linked it.
There's a lot of stuff.
The lineup is linked at cottonmouth.org. The one I found. For both days.
And it has times.
Yeah, it has exact times.
Time.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's some TBDs
cool.
in there still.
There is a Facebook page that has all the information, but I probably should get the official set times to the sound crew.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good. So what is this Facebook page you're speaking of? Let's get that out there. So
it's just like facebook.com/Happy Trails Music and Arts Festival.
So just look up Happy Trails and you're going to find it.
If you look up Happy Trails on Facebook.
Happy Trails Music Festival.
Yeah.
If you just look up Happy Trails, you might get an old cowboy song. You could get David Lee Roth. You could get New Riders of the Purple Sage. A lot of people cover the song Happy Trails. I'm just saying.
I don't even have to get Hap out, and it goes right to yours because I clicked on it for the last, how many years now has this been? 4?
This is my 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's right in my algorithm. Just right up my algorithm. Just up it.
You get up my algorithm, boy.
Speaking of your continuing festival, same artist this year doing the artwork for the photo of the Piasol bird that you have now? Sort of a Piasol bird.
Yeah, that's John Griffin. That's my buddy John up in Decatur. He does amazing work. So if you ever need any, custom designs, look up John Griffin. He does just awesome work for the music scene. And I'm actually I think it was Cosmic Reunion was the first festival I met him at. And he's just a really good dude.
Yeah.
Does awesome
cool
work.
Artwork. He's got the Piasol bird jamming a guitar, right?
And either ready to play baseball or drive a truck by the hat. I'm not sure which.
The last time you were on, we discussed a new discovery about the Piasol bird possibly being Chinese. Took up about 10 minutes of the show.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Can you imagine us going off the rails and talking about that?
No.
Yeah.
I heard that the original Piasol bird was not a flying being.
No, it wasn't. There were 2 of them on the bluff.
Right.
And anyways, there's a book in China that has a description of a dragon. I find this really ironic because they got the baseball team now called the River Dragons. They probably were listening to our show and said, that's not a Piasol bird, that's a dragon. They just figured it out. Yeah. But this book talks about, beard like a tiger, a tail that wraps around the complete body, face like a man, sort of a triangle beard too, by the way. But all the same things that's down on that plaque is in this Chinese book from like 1400 something.
Yeah. Everything comes from China.
But
all the cheap stuff,
right.
All the stuff I can afford. I don't know. So there you go, man. The Chinese Piasol bird is sponsoring Happy Trails. Is that what we're talking about?
No.
Is that your sponsor?
That's not a bird.
No, that's not
dragon.
a bird. That's right. It's a dragon that's ready to play baseball or drive a hat. We don't know. Drive a truck.
And you're right about the wings, by the way.
That was I'm right about the wings.
Yeah.
What did I say about
chicken wings?
I like wings, barbecue wings.
The original drawing didn't have wings or something.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I
just asked John. I said incorporate, the Piasol bird in some way outdoors. It's local to the area, so wanted it to be involved in the art, and I didn't really give him too many specifics, just and that's what he came up with, and it's pretty perfect.
Yeah. So. Especially if he's been to this area, so he knows it. And I mean, but he's like down in Benton where Framley Fest is. He's been down there to Sugar Creek. So whenever I said, hey, do the Framley Fest thing, a tree is all I said is, we use a tree as our main theme all the time. That's all I said. And he comes up with something great. The guy's, he's got that vision. I've sat and watched him paint. It's like Bob Ross. He just, in no time, you watch a painting come together that's amazing.
Oh, I love his live art at shows.
Yeah, it's so good. So there you go, man. That's Happy Trails with the Pie-Saw Bird going to be flying in wearing a ball cap. I think he's going to jam with one of the bands, right? Pie-Saw Bird plays guitar. A lot of people don't know that. Takes his wings off to do it because they get in the way. I don't know about any of that.
He was using his claws in the picture.
Claw picking. Yeah. A lot of people finger picking claw picking.
He's got some nails, man.
Yeah. So there you go. So what is our lineup for Friday again? Starting at 4:50 with who?
He's going to make it break out the lineup.
Well, we said it once early in the show. I wanted to go through it one more time here.
Friday, it's starting at 4:50 will be Lauren Waters.
Yeah.
And then followed by Lauren will be Rory Morris.
All right.
And then the Set Break Sarahs.
Right.
And then Ian Whitmore.
Gotcha.
And then Anna. And then Old Salt. And then One Way Traffic. And those will be these will be bouncing off stages. So
going stage to stage. So the music will kind of keep flowing with very little time between. You have to have a little time between almost, but very little. It's going to keep the music flowing.
Right. And then Saturday, Darian Rose is going to open up at 12:30, followed by Darius, who's just doing some acoustic jams, and then we got Nyko coming through, followed by the Sandwich Brothers, and then it'll be Timeless Corridor from Southern Missouri, Lofty's Comet, Hideous Gentleman, Spilly Nelson, Stone Sugar Shakedown, Raw Earth, and then Stone Sugar will be coming back for that Grateful Dead performance at the end of the night. So.
Nice.
And again, we'll just be bouncing music all day. So.
Nice, excellent.
Spilly, man, they just got back from the Grateful Retreat too. They're playing Mo Roots too in September.
Yeah, I seen that Mo Roots lineup. That's
Steelville, stacked. Missouri.
Oh yeah, Mo Roots. They do a good. They always have a good.
That's a great
September
show.
12th through I think it's 16th through
Rest
the 18th.
Rest in peace, Mark Harmon.
Yeah. 16th through the 18th for that, just in case we're trying to remember.
And for the Happy Trails, which we're talking to Mr. Marshall Ingrassia about, that is next weekend, Friday and Saturday. That is the 16th, 17th?
Yes, sir.
16th and 17th. Happen again at the VFW in Cottage Hills. You can get there right off of Highway 140. It's just this side of the 255 crossover of 140, the very first little road. You can almost pass it.
There'll be
It's
some
so
signs
small.
out to you on the main road, so anybody that's coming in.
Get you a battery-operated LED and put it around them signs so people see it flashing. Turn here, turn here.
Oh, I got a lot of cool lights I've been picking up the last few months for the show. It's going to be a good time.
and
a lot of time on Amazon, man, while this thing was shut down. A lot of people buying lights. Different kinds of lights too.
Well, that's one of the things though when you are trying to throw a festival or a show. It's not just the bands. It's not just the PA and the stages. There's all these other aspects of it that really help set it off.
Oh my gosh, I had to buy a generator just to run the second stage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot that goes in for on the show. Yeah,
it's a lot of people.
Extension cords.
Oh yeah, and copper is not cheap. Copper is not cheap. So, a lot of people who sit around. It was
for the giants that ruled this country one time.
Well, yeah. The copper didn't cost them anything. They just dug it out of the ground and took it. Plus, they're giants. They can take whatever they want.
And it turned into the Great Lakes.
That was their footprints.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Their minds.
I forgot what we were doing. Oh, yeah, Marshall Ingrassia, Happy Trail. I'm thinking about giants now, leaving big footprints that I can swim in. Anyway, Happy Trails, this is your fourth year, you say?
Fourth year, yep.
Fourth annual Happy Trails Festival. You got you a great lineup, and hopefully going to have a great weekend, it looks like, because they're rolling back that rain that they were talking about.
Yeah, they were talking
Dirty
about
words.
a little bit of rain, which I'm prepared for that. I got a tent ready to go and all that. So
You got a tent for everybody to get under?
Yeah, you just got to get really close.
Listen, if I was you as a festival guy, I wouldn't even worry about the rain. I mean, Woodstock was based on one thing, getting people so wet and muddy they just take their clothes off. The music was a whole secondary idea. They weren't even going to have music in the beginning.
For that second stage, I mean, people can, if it rains, people, they'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you though. Don't even worry about it. Don't even say it. Because you'll just manifest it.
No, it's looking good.
Yeah.
I've been watching the weather radar, and it's looking really good. So.
Look what you manifested last year when you said, I'd really like to do a summer festival, but I'm not sure how to make it happen. And boom, all of a sudden COVID happens, and you get forced into the summer.
See your magic going to work?
Yeah, you are an evil dude. No. Poor Marshall. He's like, I never hurt nobody. You, sir, are worse than Hitler. No, I don't.
Hey, I want to thank our sponsors for letting us attempt comedy each week. It's only an attempt, right? Because we do not.
A fetal attempt. A fetal.
And that's Matt Van Boers, Macias Insurance, Halpin Music Company, who I guess they know we're doing comedy. Hopefully, they've listened at least once.
They don't. They know we're not doing comedy. That we're joking.
I like how you go down there and buy stuff to defer them away from listening to the show and just say thanks.
I often do. I'm like, hey, thanks. Don't listen to the show though. Whatever you do.
And then our final sponsor, Mr. Alec HOOKiE, sponsor, and we thank Alex for all he does, and so does Michael Crider from Farmers Insurance, who got to open up for Molly Hatchet last week.
I know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I didn't go out there. My brother went out there about noon. He said this biker guy jumped in his face and went, "Here's the place to rock and roll today." And he's like, "I think that was a member of Molly Hatchet." And I'm like, "Now that's promoting." I mean, do they really have to do that? I mean, but they did.
It's easy living if you do, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's not them.
I don't fast away or something.
No. You might be right about that.
It's late. It's late. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Marshall.
Fast way's a little
Marshall
closer.
gave me something on the way in, and I've been weird ever since.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot for coming down, Marshall.
Hey, thanks for
the Scooby
it.
snack on the way in. I don't know.
No problem, brother.
Good luck with Happy Trails, man. This thing has been growing every year. Last year you had the Mineral Springs Mall just packed. Yeah, it was so packed, and you burned that place down. It was so hot in there, the fire alarms actually went off.
Yeah. Some good video, though, out there from the Happy Trails, right? Yeah. And you can hear Pigpen talking in the background every once in a while, throwing things normally. Yeah. Something went awry. So listen real close.
I'm an intense individual when things don't go right at a show.
No, but those videos are cool, man. I've watched quite a few of them. They're at the website, cottonmouth.org.
Yeah, somebody said on one of those videos, some guy when they're in the middle of the smoke detector going off takes a pole and just starts beating on it. We don't know who that guy is.
We don't know.
We don't know. You can't make out his face.
Everyone had masks on. No, they didn't. Never mind. No one had masks on. That's why we couldn't tell who they were.
Perfect. Hey, thanks again to Marshall and Ingrassia for coming down. Everybody get out to Happy Trails. That is next weekend. And next week we're going to talk to Lofty's Comet. We're going to play an interview that we recorded from them about a week back and that's one of the bands that's going to be playing there. Yeah. So tune in again next week, 6 to 7 p.m. here at 107.1 FM to hear the band Lofty's Comet. In the meantime, thanks again to our sponsors. Thanks to Marshall and Ingrassia. Thanks to everyone listening. And everybody get out and support local music and art.